Hey guys and girls, welcome to this week's episode of the B.Invested Birchy podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Birch. It's the show unraveling the truth to the start of the 21st century. We're now exiting the matrix and waking up to motherfucking reality. Today, I have a special guest. Some of you may or may not recognize this wonderful face here. Wayne, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
The podcast.
No graffiti wall today.
No graffiti wall. We've got multiple sort of locations where we're filming the podcast from. That's like a hired studio that we go to, but the equipment is broken. So we're using our stuff here and, we're building some more podcast studios as well. So cool. It'll be fun. But, Wayne, thanks for coming on and, we're going to film a podcast. This is the first time you've done a podcast. You came in and I was like, I want to put this aside and do a podcast on you and your journey this year. Mm-hmm. But I guess today we're going to talk about, client doubts and media and wins that our clients have and people that you work with. Mm-hmm. But I guess just before we jump in, if no one's seen you before on the podcast or heard you, maybe give a bit of a background just on what you do here and how you help investors.
Yeah, sure. So I work with the investor relations team. I've been doing this for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
So January 2021 came to you.
Yeah.
Pretty much with no investment knowledge.
Yeah.
And, slowly took my time getting into it and I look after, quite a lot of clients now and try and give them the 100% attention during their buying phase. And
And you've got people from all different walks of life. You've got first home buyers. You've got, someone that's single, that's divorced, someone that's got kids, someone that's retirement phase of their journey. And one thing that I love to see is like when my team, like I have it as an expectation that everyone working in the business needs to be investing in themselves, right? And from your side, like you've been here for 4.5 years. You've taken the plunge into being an investor yourself and you've bought 4, 5 properties. This year.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So if you want to watch that, there's another podcast out. Keep an eye out if it's before or after this one drops. But, I guess, we're here in 2025 and there's been, I can afford to go back for the last 4.5 years. There's been different challenges at different times, different wins at different times, different objections, different opinions. What are some of the ones that you've seen the last 4.5 years coming?
So I guess people's mindset is different. Everyone's got a different mindset. Some are very casual, some are very analytical.
Yeah.
So it's understanding people.
Yeah.
In this role. And you can sort of like having that experience now. Yeah. You can sort of put people into categories. Yeah. On where they are and what the next step is and
what areas they need working on to get to their goal. Like some people come in with this mindset. It'll be like, you could have literally 2 people. We've had siblings or family members and one's like, I'll go do 20, right? The other one's like, I'm scared. I'm not going to dabble the foot in the water, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I guess, like we've seen interest rate rises a few years ago.
Yeah.
We've seen Corona. We've seen markets that have gone up and doubled and there's markets that have crashed. Who would think like in 2025, you still buy properties for 200 grand?
Yeah. So. Well, it's funny when prior to the interest rate rises in 22. Yeah. 22?
Something like that, yeah.
23. A lot of people were saying, I'll just hold off. We'll see what the market's doing. Yeah. See what the interest rates are doing.
Yeah.
And then interest rates go up.
Yeah.
And they go, I don't know. And they can't get in.
Yeah.
They've lost that opportunity. So it's all about opportunity costs. Now the rates are coming down.
All going away.
And I'm getting clients that bought in 2021 come back to me.
Yeah.
Ready to go again. Yeah. Wanting to go again because the rates have dropped.
Yeah.
So
everyone's, it's strange. Like the mindset, some people like do 20 and they do 1, and then you got some that can only do 1 and they do 20. And, I'm actually scared, Wade. I'm scared because we're at a point where our investors, right, like there's challenges that people never realize. Yeah, like you said, people were holding off to see what happens with the interest rates because they want to see if the interest rate went up. Well, the interest rate went up, and so did their house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then they said, I want to come back and buy again. And then their servicing went down.
Yeah.
They couldn't buy, or they couldn't get their equity up.
Yeah.
Because it was trapped. So I guess everyone got to see what happened when the interest rates went up.
Yeah.
We get to see what happens when the interest rates go down. But I'm scared for the fact that all the people that we've bought for, they've all made all this money as the interest rates have gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Imagine what's going to happen when the rates drop. We're seeing it.
Yeah.
Like
as a business, our business hasn't slowed down.
Yeah.
With interest rate rises.
Yeah.
You know, we've done, yes, just as much business as we did when the interest rates are lower.
Probably done more.
More. Yeah. You know, so, you know, people hesitate and miss out on the opportunity. So
Yeah.
I say, look, grab the assets while you can.
Yeah.
On what you can afford, and and just ride the waves. So
I feel every time I see a deal, I'm like, do you know those promo things that they put on the radio where you get the cash cube and they put the cash in, you got to grab as much cash? That's everyone should be with the assets. Like, let's get as much as we can. Scoop it up with our shirt, right? Yeah. So I guess on that note, like what do you feel defines, like, we've got investors all different, shapes and sizes. Like, someone will come in and they'll surprise us in one way and the other way. What makes a good investor, do you reckon?
Someone that's willing to learn as they go.
Okay.
And have trust in the process, I guess.
Yeah.
We're a team here. Yeah. We work together. Yeah. I'm not one individual.
Yeah.
Recommending the property to you. It's Nathan. Or it's the broker saying you can do this much.
Yeah.
So we work within those boundaries.
Yeah.
But we want to also think about what's the next property there to get them into. Yeah.
Cool. And I guess for someone starting out, what do you think stops people from starting? Like, before they get started, like there's like 25 million people in the country, right?
Yeah.
50
people don't know.
They don't know.
Like, as I mentioned on the previous podcast that we did.
Yeah.
I've owned a principal place before. Yeah. And in hindsight, we had a lot of equity in that. We sold that. We doubled our money. Yeah. But if we had refinanced and released equity and bought these sorts of properties, my position would be totally different now. And don't get caught up in the finer details like interest rates or, a broken stove or cracked tiles in the bathroom or anything like that. That's small stuff.
It's irrelevant. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I think back to the properties from like 20 years ago, and whatever the opinion was that, like, why I didn't buy it, or the fear that was in my head, I'm like, shit, like, I want to go back and find the old version of me and slap me around and be like, go buy more. Like, yeah. We're in 2025. Interest rates gone up for the last 2-3 years. People were scared, whatever. We've seen those prices rise. Now that interest rates have dropped 3 times this year in 2025, what are you seeing in the market different with properties, activity, investors?
Certainly a lot of activity happening.
Yep.
There's a lot going through finance.
Yep.
I haven't had too many come back and say, look, there's no equity. I haven't had any come back and say there's really no equity in the property that they've purchased.
Probably the biggest thing is, like, I can't get enough of it out. Yeah. Okay.
I think just the process of buying a property, it can be draining.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Completing, or putting all your documents together for finance and then, going through the process of the finance clauses, the building and pest clauses, that can be draining, and that process can take it out of you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, I'm just going to sit sit on it.
Yeah.
I said, no, you got to keep on going.
Yeah.
See what the value is soon after. If there's equity, release the equity and go again,
In the last 4.5 years, right, like, I literally look at it and be like, someone's saying yes or no to 50K, right? When they're buying a deal, they're buying it cheap, they're buying it with the growth, all that. And someone's saying yes or no to 50K. But we've literally seen, like, every 6 months that goes past, it's like, well, we can't go to that market anymore, right? It just vaporizes and you can't buy. So I guess, the big thing is that when that happens, like, you might go, I need to have a break. I always laugh when I see, it's the start of 2025, and it's like, yeah, we're going to put on hold and we'll be back in the game in 2026. And I'm like, fuck, you don't even know what 2026 is going to look like. And someone will come back and they'll be like, oh yeah, let's go again. And it's like, well, it's not where we left. Like, it's a very different space. And the discussions that I have with people from 2017 today, it's like, I didn't think you were buying there. It's like, I wasn't at the time, but the value is there. I'll buy anything if the numbers stack.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like I have investors come back and say, hey, I want something in Brisbane or Townsville. And I said, well, we're really not focused on those markets anymore. The markets have moved.
Yeah.
There's better value in other areas. So
yeah. And on that note, Wayne, like, I guess looking back in the last 4.5 years of being here, what are some of the things that you see with investors, like, wins? Like, what sort of wins? What would be some of your greatest wins that you've seen, like, just people that have done, or
there's a few clients that have done quite well. They've purchased like 8 to 10 properties over the last few years, and it's basically refinancing, releasing equity, going again. We've done a lot of bulk deals in the last two years, especially.
Yeah,
and I guarantee every one of those bulk deals, there's been equity released.
Yeah.
And there's investors that have purchased into those deals that haven't done anything.
Yeah. They're sitting on, like, they're sitting on, yeah. And you got someone else that'll be sitting there going, I just wish I had,
I should have bought 2 of them. Yeah. Like, our investor that you put on Insta, I think on the socials last week, he bought 2 properties in a bulk deal.
Yes.
And he's looking to release equity from those deals. So,
and they're like literally that day, like it's a day later. Like he's gone, hey, I've gone to the bank. It's not like I'm being told the story. It's not like I'm saying, hey, go to this bank, go to that. It's like I'm getting the text message that goes, hey, we just pulled this out. It's like, fucking great. Listen again.
Yeah, another investor, he's bought 2 bulk deals.
Yeah.
One he paid for $415 or $417.
Yeah.
So that was on the higher side. Yeah. That was a 3-bedroom sort of townhouse.
Yeah.
And refinanced for $600.
Yeah.
And then used that, bought another one as part of a bulk deal. It was only a bulk deal of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3. And then there was another 100+ K in that one. So.
That client's got like 10 properties, I think. Yeah. So that client, talking about a win, right? I remember that client, they came to us at the start of last year. They got like a dozen properties or something now, and they came to us with 50 grand. 50K was what they started with, and then to a dozen in 18 months, which is cool. So, yeah.
I think it's understanding how finance works.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
It is like, people say, oh, thank you, Nathan, or whatever. It's like you said beforehand, the team is important. A good broker is okay, but having a broker and having everyone that's on the same page, I'd love to take all the credit and go, my deals are the best that I negotiate every day. All that. They're great. Yeah. But if you don't have the money to buy them and you don't have the knowledge base of why you're buying or how it's going to help you, sometimes people say to us, like, let's go and buy that bulk deal. I want to buy that deal that's around. And we're like, no, that's not the best deal. Don't do that one. I'm going to take someone out of a deal after our podcast today because I see it could be a risk to them and it'll slow them down. So, yeah.
Yeah, but the finance team, the Zinger finance team, they're young and some have experience, some have less experience, but they work as a team.
Yeah.
And you can see that. And, their service is great.
Yeah.
I believe. And,
what a wonderful team.
Yeah.
It's taken us a good 13 years of 15 years of being, I don't know when I started the business. I think maybe 2010, 2011. But got fantastic team, fantastic training, fantastic procedures, and it shows in the results that's getting delivered out there.
Yeah.
So the clients that you have, Wayne, like I said before, like what would make, like, tell us some stories of successes that you've seen. I guess success is defined in all different ways, right? It's like, what's wealth, right? Wealth could be a Lambo, or it could be the freedom to travel, right? With the successes of the wins of the clients, I guess you have people that come to you that are 18 and that come to you 60, right? Has there been any standouts sort of? I know there's so many. There's so many. It's like,
well, we've got clients that have family that have bought through us.
Yeah.
And the kids are getting involved.
Yeah.
And they either have good processes behind them with their money. Some don't understand how things work.
Yeah.
A little bit. So, a little bit more hand holding there.
Yeah.
We have couples that are new investors.
Yeah.
And, as long as we've got clarity with what they want to achieve, we can certainly help them along the way.
What would be the quickest to large portfolio that you've seen someone build? If you had to guess.
I think in the last 3 years, they've got, a couple of clients got to get to 20.
Yeah.
So, one client who wants, and we joke about it, he's solely in it for the trophy at the end of the year.
What's that?
For the 20 property trophy. I was just back at 20 properties. I won that award. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, he's, he and his wife are really good.
Yeah.
Very open-minded.
Yeah.
Puts the faith in both you and I and what we do, and they're doing quite well. So
yeah. There's so many cool stories. Right? It's like, I wouldn't know which one to pull out, because whether it's the first property someone bought, whether it's the person that was rebounding from a hardship that could have happened, whether it be, the one that thought they couldn't do it, or they got knocked back from 10 different people or different banks or lenders.
Yeah.
Have you seen people come to you, Wayne, that are like, oh yeah, I can't get started, the broker told me no, or whatever, and you've been able to turn around? Like, do you have a...
Yeah, just today I was speaking to someone, not a client yet, but they're going through the finance side of things and looking to set up a self-managed super and everything.
Yeah.
And the partner's sister is their broker.
Okay.
And they've got the emotional attachment.
Yeah.
Because, the parents are saying, look, please do the loan through the refinance through the sister.
Yeah.
But otherwise she gets a clawback of commission.
Yeah.
Or wait 2 years.
Yeah.
Wait 2 years before you do it.
Crazy.
As in, you've got to detach. I understand where you're coming from. You've got to detach yourself emotionally from that.
Imagine missing out 2 years.
I know, just so that your sister gets her commission.
$2,000. So she saves $2,000. The sister saves $2,000, but then you miss out on buying Townsville 2 years ago for $550. There's now $350 or $400.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So that's just funny hearing that. Hopefully they get past that.
Yeah.
And keep the relationship aside. But, I think you've got to detach yourself from family as much as you can, family's opinion, unless they're a property investor themselves and they've been through it all. And be wise to who you take advice from. So
my family loves me. My mum loves me. Well, mum, first property was great. Second property was really great. Third property was like good, but be scared. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10. It was like, intervention time, because like you're going to hurt yourself, right? And it was with love, but it wasn't the right advice, and pushing through that. Yeah. Cool.
Well, I've got 3 brothers. We're all on different sort of journeys, and everyone's supportive of each other. And my dad was a property investor. He was one of those Gold Coast ones where you fly up to the Gold Coast and buy a place off. Back in the early 2000s or late 90s it was. And
well, it's kind of funny because I know exactly what you're talking about, and people watching now, they know, what do you mean you fly up to Queensland, right? But maybe explain what those like you is. I never like you.
Yeah, I was young at the time, but they would fly up to see property up there at, I think, Pacific Pines or wherever it goes.
So your dad was buying, or you were
buying?
I thought you may have been an agent.
No,
buying him. Okay.
Yeah, buying.
Did you do all right from him, or?
Yeah. They managed to. Well, they ended up selling them all at retirement, and they built a home.
Yeah,
and then he later passed. But I didn't really understand property investing back then, but certainly do now.
Yeah. It's a fly, but I'll talk about like fly. The story behind flying up to Queensland, right? These marketing companies would come to a local town and do a presentation. There was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, no realestate.com, no nothing. You had no ability to compare a comparable sale. You're in Sydney and you're comparing the price to the Gold Coast and you're saying that sounds good. It's 20% cheaper than Sydney, getting great value. But when you go there and check around, everything was like 50% cheaper than that, because the things were overvalued. It was like off the plan sales. Early 2000s, late 1990, throughout the 80s and 90s, I guess. Yeah. Cool. I guess at the back of that, Wayne, like you see people at all different phases of their life and journey and mindset. The media, right? What are you seeing out there in the media? What have you seen in the media? What lies and inconsistencies have you seen in your time?
I don't watch the media, the mainstream media.
Yeah.
Occasionally it'll pop through. There's so many podcasts out there now with property and different strategies people go through, and always open to hear all that. I have to know, because people will call up and say, I was listening to this person and they were saying this.
Yeah.
So we have to be open-minded as a client manager, and
everyone's a guru out there. There's like, we're in a world where there's just media flying through you on Instagram. It's like every second message is like, oh, I want to build a property portfolio, like, whatever. And yeah.
There's not one path to property or to wealth creation. There's many different paths.
Yeah.
People relate to different processes and different strategies, different people. Yeah, like yourself. Yeah, we've got all walks of life who follow Nathan, and
this is a pretty eclectic group of people that we help.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And there's people there that you think, how did you come across us? And you're totally different to the way we think.
Yeah.
And a lot of people take a lot more, I guess, persuading to our strategy. They may have preconditioned, beliefs that they've been raised with.
Yeah,
and going against that is hard to do.
Yeah,
but the ones that do really well are really just open to the process.
Yeah,
trust the process.
Yeah. I've seen them all. Like I have the joke nowadays with people when they're like, oh, I don't think it's good like this. Like, okay, well, what are we doing here, right? Why did you ask me for your help, right? You know better than me. But it's like, some people say 1-bedroom units aren't good. Some people say buying in a regional area isn't good. But it's like, but that's based on information that they may have based on something. So I guess, it's preconceived ideas where people, might have had a friend or a family or whatnot that have had a bad experience, and then they'll carry on with that data. They've got the wrong data. They've been given an input, which is like, that's risky, don't touch it. I was watching a video, and maybe I'll get the editor to throw this video, and it was about monkeys, right? And they climb a ladder and then they get zapped or shocked or water thrown them or something. I'll get the editor to throw it in, right? Check this out.
A scientist placed 4 monkeys in a room with a stepladder upon which there was a bunch of bananas. Whenever a monkey went to climb the ladder, the other monkeys in the room were sprayed with cold water. After a while, each time a monkey went for the bananas, the others would attack it to prevent it from doing so. The monkeys learnt to never climb the ladder. But then, one of the monkeys was removed, and a new monkey wearing a raincoat was introduced. Naturally, this monkey went for the bananas, and it was customarily attacked and prevented from doing so by the others. This new monkey learnt not to climb the ladder. So when another monkey was substituted in and made for the bananas, all the others attacked it, including the one in the raincoat, despite the fact that it had never been sprayed with cold water. A third monkey was substituted in, and then a fourth final monkey. And still, whenever a monkey tried to climb the ladder, the others would prevent it from doing so, even though none of them had ever been sprayed with the cold water. When asked why this was, one monkey said, "That's just the way it is."
So as we can see, right, that example of the scenario, when I watched it, I was thinking of it. I was trying to think of how I could find an analogy to put it in, and here we are in the podcast. But people will walk around with a preconceived idea, maybe from no experience, maybe from whatnot, something they've heard from a friend, a family member, colleague, a neighbor, from the media, and it doesn't really have any bearing. And you know, the news over the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, has said the market's going to crash. And then we can see markets that are booming.
Yeah.
Or you can see the markets are going to boom, and then we can see other markets that have been crashing at different times. And I guess it's that data and analyzing that and fitting it into a strategy of yeah.
But also, like, I've seen ads lately on TV for major banks.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a major bank, but they're conditioning people around principal places or buying their own property.
Yeah.
Or, you know, housing affordability.
Yeah.
That's in the news a lot.
Yeah.
It's putting these things into their heads where, mate, you don't have to buy a principal place in Sydney or Brisbane or Melbourne. You can buy an investment property. You can get into the market, build your investment portfolio that way.
Yeah.
And then use that growth down the track and then get the property that you want to live in.
It's funny you say the conditioning, right? Because like as a kid growing up watching Seinfeld, right? And you watch Seinfeld, I never once saw on the show of Seinfeld them saying, "Oh, I've got to go and save my first deposit to go buy a property. They're going to be trapped in a mortgage for the next 20 years."
Yeah.
They literally, I remember there was an episode, I think it was How I Met Your Mother as well, like those shows that were on, those sitcoms in the 90s, early 2000s. Where they were like, yes, I've got myself a lease, and they think of renting that property for the next 20, 30 years of their life. Like, where did this idea of that you must own the property come from? It's all come from, you know, a great old folklore of Australian pastime of let's buy the property. It's got the weaponized and, you know, monetized property as an asset, which is fantastic. It's been great for all of us.
But what it does is it commits people to paying high amounts of, large amounts of interest, like
on a cash flow, on
something that you can't claim on your tax.
Yeah.
So it's building
a cash flow.
Yeah. But there's a flow-on effect from there. You know, the banks are making money, you know, and then they lend out the money and they want deposits in, they encourage. Yeah. So it's really interesting how you talk about the economy.
Yeah.
Sidetracking a little bit, but that's opened my mind a lot in the last 45 years. So
Can you
4 to 5 years? No, I can't understand.
Can't see it. No. Yeah. A mortgage broker out there, right, would want to sell $1 million mortgage, right?
Yeah.
I always joke that here at Zinger Finance, we run a fucking charity, right? Because if we have to do a $200,000 loan, we could get a mortgage holder in off the shelf, use mortgage insurance, use all this, right? You spend $1 million on a property, we get a commission on $1 million loan, and you're not going to be able to refinance it out. You're stuck there for the next 10 years, right? Great. But instead, we're getting someone to buy a 200 grand property. A month later, they go refinance for 250. They pull out the equity.
Yeah.
We lose our commission. We have to get it paid back. We make nothing out of it. And we have to do that 10 times to get the same as what the normal brokerage firm would do. So the brokerage firm would not promote our strategy because there'd be a lost business.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because you see the agendas like throughout all that media. What's the media trying to sue you? What's the broker trying to sue you? What's everyone around has got an agenda of what they're trying to sell.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But cool. And I guess misinformation, like, how do you see it impacts people? Like, we've got the monkey video we just saw, right? Monkey see, monkey do, right?
Yeah.
But where have you seen it impact negatively? Like,
and people just hesitate to move forward.
Yeah.
They just have that doubt.
Yeah.
So.
My fear moving forward, like we're in 2025 now doing this, my fear is that interest rates drop means a whole new flood of capital. What we haven't seen, this is a boom that's about a 2028, 2029 boom, right? And mark my words, this is the first time I've thrown it out there. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Maybe you'll be like, I remember Birchy said this back in 2025, right? This is a boom that no one's even fucking reported on yet, right? We've got a migrant explosion at the moment, right? 1,500 people a day coming through, 600,000 people a year, right? All those people are coming in great, but they can't buy shit, right? Like, you coming into the student visa or whatnot, you can't go and buy it, right? You can only rent, which is putting pressure and demand on the infrastructure we've got. But in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, those people will be like, I've seen properties go up. I've seen this. The first thing they want to do is go, I want to go buy a property, right? And then all those people become of age, like they're not like, it's like they're turning 18 and illegal able to do it. They're able to do it because their visas roll over to being a permanent residence or whatnot. And then we're going to see that whole new market of people coming in and putting more pressure on that.
100%.
I've never seen anyone talk about it. I just thought of it there.
My wife came back from overseas yesterday, and just as she was about to get off the plane, a lady asked her about something, and my wife asked, like, are you visiting family or friends, or are you migrating here? They go, this is our first time to Australia. We're migrating here. We've got permanent residency. And she goes, oh, where are you going to live? Oh, we're going to Tamworth.
Yeah.
So literally they're getting off the plane, jumping on a transit bus to domestic and catching a plane to Tamworth.
Yeah.
And they were both in nursing.
Wild.
Yeah, and they were going to start their life in a regional town. So, the impact of migration to these regional areas is just pushing prices up in those areas. So it's a great...
Yeah. We follow that data. That data has been very greatly beneficial to us. Greatly for our clients, and it changes every quarter, every 6 months. It's changing where they're heading to, where they're getting placed to. That is a very big indicator of what things are to come. And it's, like the first time they've got off the plane, don't know anything, not looking at the koalas, not looking at the Harbour Bridge. Where the fuck's Tamworth, right? Let's fly to Tamworth, right? And be placed in Tamworth.
I was surprised they were flying to Tamworth.
Yeah.
It's only, 4 hours away?
They wouldn't they wouldn't be able to drive. Then they know the road's different, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you've just arrived here. It'd be like getting off at bloody Thailand or somewhere and getting on a tuk-tuk going through the city, right? Low fetch and driving their way out of Tamworth, right?
Yeah.
But that's the reality. But in 5 years' time, they'll know every fucking bit about this country they're in, right? They've been working, earning residency, earning good money, life's great, sending money back home, taking care of the family, and they're like, we want to settle down. We're going to buy a fucking house in Tamworth now. Everyone is,
because they've made friends. They've they've built themselves into that community.
And then they go, come out. We're going to come out. Conversate with me. I'm in Tamworth. Okay, cool. What are we going to do? I don't know. I'm going to build a restaurant. All right. It's wild.
Yeah.
So it's,
so there's plenty of opportunity ahead.
Yeah. I'm excited. Like, there is a boom. Like, that is a boom that's totally separate to interest rates. That's a totally separate boom to the fact that rates are dropping. People can't, how many people would be watching this thing? And if I could just buy another property, I'd buy one today. How many people would be sitting there going, I just can't get they see the $1 million house goes to 1.1. They're like, I better jump in now. And they can jump in because their servicing allows them to. And then the next minute, we've got a 2026 boom happening. So, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm scared, Wade. I'm scared. The scared part is the stock drying up. The scared part is the prices going up.
Prices going up, yeah.
The scared is the cool scared is I'm scared of the potential that our investors have, right? I'm scared of the fact we've bought $10 billion worth of property, and just making up that number. Let's say $10 billion worth of property, and those properties have gone to 20 billion, and now it goes to 30, 40 billion as they go up. All our investors that have the wealth, they're at another phase of their journey. And what do they do? Who do they become? How do they retire? I'm excited.
Yeah.
So,
And like seeing investors buy into these cheaper markets and selling off like 2 or 3 years later, like there's got to be a reason why they've sold off.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got to think longer term, but well, people have done quite well.
It's like the kid with, there's another analogy. I'll put it up. I'm not going to put it up again, right? The kid with the marshmallow test, right? The kid gets given a marshmallow, and if it doesn't eat it within 5 minutes, they come back, give him a second marshmallow, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that like people just go, oh, cool, shiny object, right? I've turned 200 into 400, but they don't realize that 400 goes to $1 million, that they're going to miss out on a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
So
we sold our principal place in 2018 when it had doubled.
Yeah.
So we did quite well out of it.
Yeah.
But looking at it at the value now, it's gone up another 50%.
Yeah.
Like crazy. So
if I was to look at all the deals that I'm upset by, I'm upset by all the deals I didn't do. I'm upset with the deals that I sold. And I've never sold properties because I'm like, hey, I want to just make a profit with that. I've sold the properties because I'm like, okay, it's exhausted its position. I really need the capital. It's always I've only ever disposed of assets to bring capital back home or to, avoid an administration issue, because I've bought some shit properties. What I mean by that is I used to buy house commission properties back in the day, and I paid 10 grand and I sell them for 150, or they've been burnt down. I've got a 200 grand insurance pay and I sell the scrap for 100 grand. I've made significant money, but I'm like, I don't want to deal with that anymore.
Yeah.
But,
if you're selling to realign yourself, to move forward further, great. But,
if you're selling just to make a couple of bucks, it's like there's a couple more bucks to be had.
Yeah. There's another way to do it.
Yeah. And on that note, Wayne, like you're talking about the Tamworth, and here's one like old things to be scared about, right? Like the monkeys getting wet on the ladder or whatever it is. That people look at like an area, right? And let's say we've got a very different world here in 2025, and we'll have a very different world in 2030, right? But let's say a mining town that have a boom bust cycle. They won't just boom bust like they used to. Yeah, you can have it go a bit too high, come back down, but they've got a secret weapon. The government now has an issue of placing people. We need to push our GDP up. How do we improve our GDP? We bring migration in. It's a stimulant for the economy.
Yeah.
So if there's ever a little dip in the market, they're literally just loading that market up with new migrants to send the migrants. We'll send them over here now, right? We'll send them over here, right? And that's something that people fear. I can't buy there because what happens? But it's like, hang on a second, is that going to happen because they're going to use this weapon to stop that from happening? It's a stop loss there. So we can never guarantee with the government. They'll change the
policies change.
Yeah.
Cool. But we haven't had this migration like prior to COVID. We weren't having 500,000 people coming in.
I remember as a kid, it was like a decade. It's like, oh, we've just got up another million people after a decade. Well, we'll just add another million
every 2 years now. It's a million.
Like 600,000 people. That's like adding Canberra, Townsville, Canberra, Darwin, and Hobart into Australia every year. That's literally like 4 major capital city.
Yeah.
It's wild. Where are they going to go? It's good.
Yeah, more money in the economy and more opportunity to rent. Lift our rents. And
the thing I'm unhappy about is just quality of life where we are, right? Like you drive up the roads that we're on, and on a Sunday it takes you an hour to drive on a road that used to take 20 minutes to drive on. I'm like, if I could get off my road.
Well,
right?
Saturday morning driving around the hills is worse than a weekday.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. So that's the thing I get upset about, is that like I'm great. All my properties are gone up, right? There's development sites about to pop up. They're ready to cook. And I look back and I'm like, wow, the infrastructure doesn't catch up for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Cool. And I guess just on the final part, like we've talked about the good and the different sides of things, emotional stuff. Have you seen anything from, people's emotion? Like, will they hurt themselves? Like, I know you see it all the time.
Yeah, I think people get caught up in the minor things.
Okay.
Which in the big picture isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
There's frustration with anything.
Yeah.
If there's no linear, straight line to success, so you've got to go up and down.
Yeah.
Bumpy road here and there, but clients are pretty good.
Yeah.
They understand what they want to do. So
I think with that as well, like some people get scared or they have a bad day or something. It's easy to get the ships and grab your ball and go home and take it home. But adversity brings upon growth. And when you have a challenging time, that's generally when you're having a breakthrough. And, I've seen investors, I've seen this fork that happens at certain points. It could be from the early day. It could be from later on. And it's like, if you just stick to the planning, you stick to what works, then it's the most beautiful thing. But if you feel it's all too hard, it's like, I remember once, like people watching these videos, they see me years ago and I used to be a bit heavier, right? Heavy around the face and everything, right? And then I went to the gym, and the first time I went to the gym, I put my arms, I couldn't even move. I had to sleep with my arms, like DOMs, like the muscle pains, right? I couldn't move my arms for days.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I knew I overpushed it. But then I was like, okay, cool. Once that happened, it didn't happen again afterwards. But I could just go, I'm not going back to the gym because it all hurts and it's all too hard and nowhere to go. But it's like, I need to have a healthy lifestyle. I need to do this, I need to do that. And acknowledging that pain, the ripped muscle, builds the bigger muscle. And, people will sit there and go, oh, this is too hard. But it's like, you have to go through that sometimes to get to the other side, to become the person you want to be. And if everything was easy, then everyone wouldn't be there, right? And that's right. I think worthwhile is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And I guess on a final note, like any wisdom that you want to share?
Good times ahead, I think.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. We've got heaps of great deals happening.
Yeah.
Good opportunities. Getting prices are still good.
They'd be better if they were a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
But all it's up to today. But
on that, we're buying properties cheaper in 2025 than what they were in 2015.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think every property I've bought recently has been less than what the previous owner purchased. So,
it's that mindset, right? Like some people will go, why would you buy that for? It's a bad investment. It's cheaper than what someone paid. But your portfolio is on fire. So, yeah. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks for all that you do. Your investors are kicking ass. And if it wasn't for your great assistance and nurturing and guiding them, they'd be sitting there at 1s and 2s and stuff. So, So thanks, Wayne.
No worries. Thank you.
If you need help, reach out to Wayne, 1300 367 925. Email us at admin@binvested.com.au. If you like the video, share it around, smash up the like, and remember to subscribe. You can find us every Thursday on Google Play, Apple Play, Spotify, and YouTube. Bye for now.
Like Bilal said, man, we're stuck in the matrix. This my advice, don't care if you take it.